Monday Night Raw was in your face. Just like this Monday Night Raw review is in your face. Hello everyone and welcome to this Monday Night Raw review. It'll be in your face, by the way. This is going to be in your face. WWE liked to remind us that this Monday Night Raw was in your face. So I'm going to be reminding you that this Monday Night Raw review is going to be in your face. I don't understand the whole concept. I don't understand why they gave Monday Night Raw a tagline of in your face. I don't know what the hell they meant by that. It's in your face. I mean, like Monday Night Raw is in our faces. Monday Night Raw has been in our faces since the day since its very first episode. So Monday Night Raw's always been in our face. I don't get it. I don't know why WWE called this episode of Raw in your face. Well, just for today, this episode of my Monday Night Raw reviews is going to be in your face. So we kicked things off with Drew McIntyre. He bragged about what he did to Randy Orton, and now they're doing the exact same thing to Randy Orton. Remember when Randy punted Drew, and then Randy was bragging about how he will become the champion if Drew doesn't make it to Clash of Champions? Well, now that they're doing it to Orton. I mean, seriously, this is what you call lazy booking. This is what you call lazy booking at its finest. You're just having the exact same thing take place. Randy Orton is obviously going to be back in time for Clash of Champions. So I don't understand why they're trying to make it sound like Randy's not going to make it. We all know he's going to make it. I thought this could have been a good way to, like, if you really didn't want Orton in the match, I thought this would have been a good way to kind of do it. You could just write him off television, but at the same time, I don't think Randy's going to be off TV. Adam Pearce. I don't know who put him in charge, but apparently Adam Pearce is allowed to make matches. I think Dolph Ziggler said it best on commentary. Who put this guy in charge? Exactly, Dolph. That's exactly what I said when Paige did the exact same thing when she made that fatal 5-way at WrestleMania. Who put you in charge? That's exactly what I said when Paige did that to Bayley at WrestleMania this year. Who the hell... like, Adam Pearce, now he's allowed to make matches. So Adam Pearce can just make a match. If Keith Lee defeats Drew McIntyre, he will take Randy's place. Oh, sorry. If Randy doesn't make it to Clash of Champions in time, Keith Lee will face Drew McIntyre instead. Talk about ridiculousness, if that's even a word. But who put Adam Pearce in charge? Seriously. So our first match was the champion versus champion match. It was the Street Profits facing Cesaro Nakamura. Street Profits walk away with the win here. I don't know if this is a one and done, or if it's going to set up the eventual, if it's gonna set up the eventual champion versus champion match at SummerSlam, at Clash of Champions, where we get the unification. I don't know. To me, this feels like it's a one and done. But we'll have to wait and see. We also had Cedric Alexander face off against Ricochet. Hurt Business have their own music now. which is great to see. And I thought they did it for one reason, but obviously later on when we see Bobby Lashley, that's not the case. Because I thought they did it for a reason. But they got new music, and Cedric Alexander gets the victory here. Look, I like Ricochet, but he's got no character. He's got no personality, he's got no character. Ricochet is basically Ember Moon. He's basically Ember Moon. And by the way, what is it with the Hurt Business signing people with no personality and no character? Like, seriously, Cedric has no character, Cedric has no personality, Bobby Lashley, or Bobby Trashley as I call him, has no character, has no personality, Shelton Benjamin has no character and no personality, MVP has no character and no personality, so the Hurt Business should basically be called the characterless business. Look, I like Cedric. But all the guys that are in there are bums. Lashley, MVP, Shelton Benjamin. I like Cedric, so I won't call him a bum. But they're the characterless business. There is nothing good about the Hurt Business. There's nothing good about them. I don't understand how people actually enjoy the Hurt Business. These guys are unwatchable. Lashley's terrible. Shelton, he used to be good back in the day. MVP is just annoying. Cedric Alexander, this could turn out good for him. This could turn out good for Cedric. But I'm just saying, I just do not like the Hurt Business. Or the characterless business, as I call them. If they need... MVP, if you ever need another wrestler with no character and no personality in your little Hurt Business, give Ember Moon a call. I'm pretty sure she'll gladly join the characterless business. Ember Moon would be a perfect fit in the stable. If you need a female, give Ember Moon a call. She'd be a great addition. But Cedric wins. Then we have Retribution. They send their message. And I think it is safe to assume that the members of Retribution are Dominik Dijakovic, Mercedes Marquez, Mia Yim, and I'm assuming The Miz, because people were saying that was The Miz. I'm thinking it's Shane Thorne and Dio Madden. I think those are the 5 members of Retribution. That is my prediction on who I think is in Retribution. I think it's Dijakovic, Mercedes Marquez, Mia Yim, Shane Thorne, and Dio Madden. That's my prediction. That is who I think is in Retribution. Now, there were other members. Now, there were many other members, but I don't know. It's just weird. There was so many of them, but I can't name them all off my head. But all I'm saying is, the main 5 that we see, those are the people that I think is the main 5. So also Zelina Vega dumps Andrade and Angel Garza. Finally, I guess it's about time. She finally dumps Andrade and Zelina finally dumps Andrade and Angel Garza because they continued brawling, they continued arguing. She hit her breaking point. She hit her breaking point with the 2 of them. Then we had Asuka versus Mickie James. This match had a weird ending where the referee just called for the bell once Asuka applied the Asuka lock. So we had another kind of screwy finish here. So when I saw this ending, I was like, okay, this is obviously done to set up another match. This was obviously done to set up another match between Mickie and Asuka. But then all of a sudden, Zelina Vega comes out. We see Zelina debuts new music. Now, WWE obviously planned this. There's no way Zelina Vega would have immediately gotten new music already. WWE clearly would have already had new music planned for her when they were splitting up Andrade and Angel Garza. They clearly did. Can't tell me they immediately had music ready for her on the day they split her up with Andrade and Garza. So Zelina comes out, she cuts a promo, she talks down Andrade and Angel Garza, and she calls them scoundrels or scum. I forgot the word. But she also calls Asuka that too. She says that she'll be ready for Asuka and she's ready to become Raw Women's Champion. Asuka yells at her in Japanese. Zelina Vega just slaps Asuka in the face. I'm predicting a triple threat. I think we'll probably get a three-way with Asuka, Vega, and James. That's what I think we'll get. We had Bobby Trashley take on Eric of the Viking Raiders. And we now know the official name of the full Nelson that Bobby Lashley has been using since June. We now know the official name of it. Is it something good? What is the name of this devastating move of Bobby Lashley? Oh, I hope it has a good name. Nope. Lashley's finisher isn't called the Full Lashley. It's not called the Lashley Lock, even though Full Lashley sounded lame. It's not called the Lashley Lock, which makes the perfect sense for the name. It's called the Hurt Lock. The Hurt Lock. Really? Really? The Hurt Lock. The Hurt Lock. You have, in words of Billy Kay, you have got to be joking me. That was the best name that you could come up with for Bobby Lashley's finisher? The Hurt Lock. God, what a dumb name. What a dumb name for a finisher. The Hurt Lock. Give me a break. Seth Rollins confronted Murphy backstage and warned him to stay out of the match. But Murphy didn't stay out of the match. He came out during Seth's match with Dominik Mysterio. How many times have we seen this already? I mean, how many times have we seen this already? But hopefully this is the end of it. Seth Rollins defeats Dominik in a great steel cage match. You know, I've been hearing nothing but praise for Dominik. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Dominik has done well. Okay? I'm not going to put anything away from him. He's been very, very, very impressive. But this guy is 1-3. This guy has lost 3 matches and only won 1. He lost to Seth Rollins. Actually, no, he's 2-3. Sorry, I forgot about his match with Murphy last week. He lost to Rollins. He lost to Rollins again. And he lost to Rollins again. He won at Payback. And he beat Murphy. This guy is 2-3. This guy is 2-3. And people call Dominik impressive. Look, if you want to make Dominik look impressive, he needs to win more. He should not be losing more than he is winning. He ends up losing the steel cage match. Even despite Murphy's mistake. Murphy ended up coming out to prevent Ray from cheating. And without even realizing that Seth Rollins was at the door, Murphy slams the cage door into Seth's face. Dominik could not beat Seth, even despite Murphy's mistake. It would have made perfect sense. You wanted to have Seth do what he did to Murphy? It would have made perfect sense if Dominik won. But no, you had Dominik lose again to Seth Rollins. Dominik Mysterio, like, the Mysterio family, like Ray and Dominik have looked like losers throughout this entire feud. Ray never got his revenge. Dominik never got his revenge. Sure, Dominik got payback on Murphy. Sure, they got some payback at Payback. No pun intended. But you mean to tell me the final match that writes this chapter is Seth Rollins defeating Dominik, even despite Murphy's mistake? Dumb. So Seth wins. So I assume this is the end of the feud after what we see what happens next. Seth then turns on Murphy. He slams Murphy into the barricade, throws him into the cage, and smashes his head into the cage door, just like what Murphy did to Seth. And then Seth yells at him, saying, "How does it feel? I know you did that to me." And Seth walks off. He walks up to Angie, Dominik's mum. Seth ends up saying he did well, and he leaves. So the Mysterio family go to check on Dominik after the grueling match. But there's one thing that happened here that for some reason a lot of fans are looking way too deep into, and they held on to this one image. They held on to this one image thinking something big is going to happen. And that big thing isn't exactly as big as people are making it out. Aaliyah Mysterio, the daughter of Rey Mysterio. She was the last one to get into the cage. After Murphy was laid out. After Murphy was attacked from Roll. Words, Patrick. After he was attacked by Rollins, Aaliyah bends over, looks at Murphy, and all she does is this. And then walks up and then goes into the cage. So this one image of Aaliyah doing this causes people to assume that WWE is going to start a romantic storyline with Buddy Murphy and Aaliyah Mysterio. First of all, even if that's the case, through storyline purposes, how in the ever-living hell would Ray and Dominik trust Murphy? Even if this is the case, how do you expect Ray and Dominik to trust Murphy? Secondly, how is Aaliyah checking on Murphy, feeling bad for him, giving him sympathy? That's all she was doing. She was doing the one thing that we all do. We all felt bad for Murphy. It was to give sympathy. That's all it was done to do. Her checking on Murphy to see if he was okay, it was only done to basically check on him, to see if he was okay, to feel sorry for him. That's all it was. But people looked too deep into it to thinking that Murphy and Aaliyah are going to start this relationship. Please, for the love of God. Please, for the love of God. You're completely insane if you think that's why she was rubbing her hand across Murphy. She was rubbing her hand across Murphy to see if he was okay. To check on him. See if he was okay, if he was feeling alright. We're all feeling bad we gotta feel bad for Buddy Murphy. And besides, she's way too young. She's like a teenager, I think. Dominik's like 23. She looked like she's 18. She looks like she's 18, 19. Murphy's way too old for her anyway. Or I should say way too young. Murphy's way too young for her. He's like, what? Murphy'd be like in his 30s and she's like she looks like she's 18 or 19. All it was done was to give sympathy to Murphy. That's all it was done for. It wasn't done for any stupid romantic storyline. It wasn't done for anything like that. All it was done was to give Murphy sympathy. That's the only reason why she did what she did. Secondly, this is my personal gripe of Aaliyah checking on Murphy. Why would she feel bad for Murphy? Wasn't she smacking him with a kendo stick last week? She wasn't rubbing his hand and checking on him last week. When Ray and Dominik were all smacking him with a kendo stick, all four of them were smacking him around with kendo sticks. And now I'm supposed to believe that Aaliyah feels bad for Murphy? That Seth Rollins beat the crap out of him? No, it makes no sense. Makes no sense. It literally makes no sense to have her feel bad for Murphy if she was smacking him with a kendo stick last week. If she wasn't involved with the kendo stick smacking, if it was just Ray and Dominik, and she and Angie looked on, and then she did what she did, then I would have been okay with it. Then I'd be like, okay, she feels bad for him. But because she was involved with the kendo stick smacking last week, how am I supposed to believe she feels bad for him? Yes, that was the intention. As I said before, that was the intention to why she did it. To feel bad for Murphy, to give him sympathy. That's all it was done for. But if you look at this storyline purposes, why would she feel bad for him? Because it was last week she was smacking him with a kendo. I don't know. It was just weird to me. It was very weird to see Aaliyah Mysterio just to... It was very weird. It was very weird. To... Hopefully now we don't see the Mysterio family anymore. Don't get me wrong. Aaliyah's a cute. Is a cutie. She's a looker, don't get me wrong. But we don't need to be seeing any more of little Aaliyah and Mummy Mysterio. I think it's time for them to get off our TV screens. And it's time for Dominik to focus on new things and begin new feuds. Braun Strowman, he was in Raw Underground. He went on a rampage, and I want to make things perfectly clear to everybody. I know one of my friends fell for this last time, and I had to make this, and I have to make this perfectly clear. So listen to me. I'm gonna say this slowly so that everybody can understand this. Just because you are on Raw Underground doesn't mean you're on the Raw roster. Okay? Understand that. People thought Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir were a part of the Raw roster just because they were in Raw Underground. And now people are assuming the exact same thing here with Braun Strowman. Just because you're in Raw Underground doesn't make you a Raw superstar. We've got people from NXT competing in Raw Underground. Does that make them a part of Raw? No. It's free for everybody. That's what Raw Underground is. It's free for everybody to be a part of it. So please stop assuming wrestlers are on Raw just because they're in Raw Underground. And I don't even count this Raw Underground shit. This Raw Underground stuff is garbage. It was cool to see Braun Strowman knock a couple of people around, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense to me. Raw Underground is useless to me. It's just not... Raw Underground's useless. I don't really understand why people liked it. If people like it, that's fine, but it's not for me. So please, stop assuming that when people appear on Raw Underground means they're on Raw. They're not. Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee start having a massive brawl backstage. which I will say it was pretty cool. Then we had Kevin Owens facing Aleister Black. This is Aleister Black's first match as a heel. He attacks Kevin Owens from behind and he loses. He ends up losing because of the Retribution lights. So it wasn't really clean. And because MVP was now on commentary, MVP immediately believes that Kevin Owens has something to do with Retribution. Hell, that's exactly what Aleister Black said on Raw Talk. No joke, I actually watched a bit of Raw Talk. Aleister Black believes Kevin Owens is the leader of Retribution because it happened to happen in his match. What do you guys think of that? The Riot Squad faced Natalya and Lana. Lana got pinned by Ruby Riott after the Riot kick. Then Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax beat the shit out of Lana. And everybody believes that the only reason why they did this to Lana was because Rusev, or Miro as he is called now, is because Miro appeared in AEW last week. So they think they did this as a punishment to Lana. Man, people love to assume things. Man, people love to assume everything has to do with AEW. I'm gonna give Lana credit here. She took that table spot very well. It's not very common you see Lana take a massive bump like that. Good job, Lana. You are the definition of a jobber, but I'll definitely give you praise for that table spot. And Lana was actually really safe. Not Lana, what's her name? Nia. Nia was very safe with Lana. She had her hands in the right position to protect Lana, so in that way she would slam her through the table. So Nia is getting better. It seems like Nia seems to be getting better here. Don't know how long that'll last, but it looks like she's getting better at least. And at the end of the show, we had Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee, but we had Retribution run in and cause the match to end in a no contest, which is something a lot of people predicted. And the Hurt Business would come out and start brawling with Retribution. And the show ends with Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre both doing suicide dives onto Retribution and the Hurt Business, laying everybody out. So that's how Raw ends. We don't get like a reveal or anything. I think it's time WWE reveals at least one member of Retribution. I think they should reveal one member. Just one. Now, I think we all know who they are by this point, but I would not mind just one member being revealed. Not all of them, just one. But anyway, guys, that's all I've got for you guys on this episode of Monday Night Raw. It was a pretty lackluster Raw, I'm not going to lie. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up. Comment your opinions on Monday Night Raw down below. Remember, guys, this Monday Night Raw was in your face. And this Monday Night Raw review is in your face. See you guys next time.